Namaste, viewers. Welcome to Jaipur Dialogue USA and Jaipur Dialogue. I was away for a few days for a major event in California. Just got back. Sorry to miss to talk to you and share my thoughts. Today, I wanted to talk to you specifically about the announcement by Vivek Ramasawamy that he will be willing to accept the vice presidential position in Trump leadership if Trump were to win. And that's very, very important considering the fact that he had earlier announced that he will not. So, this is a practical and realistic arrangement or rethinking of his thoughts, and I think I welcome that. I welcome it for more reasons than one. Two reasons are very important to figure out whether Trump and Vivek will make a good team or a great team. And that's something that we need to think about, given the fact, the position both of them take with reference to taking care of America. And that's very important. That America is in a tough spot in every sense of the term: foreign policy, immigration, economy, and what have you. Every single element, Trump Trump and Vivek are virtually in sync with their thinking and their strategies. That is very important. You need a teamwork to do things. You do not need disparaging people of different thoughts to come to a teamwork. So, my point is very simple here. What is this alliance of a 77-year gentleman, Mr. Trump, who is indicted on four occasions for four separate indictments, and many, many, many charges are on him? I do not know which one of them will stick or all of them will be thrown out. We do not know that. But we do know that in democracy, you are not guilty until proven. Assumption of guilt is not a proof of guilt. And that's very critical, and that judicial process will go on. However, what is important is that Mr. Trump is fighting the battle, and Vivek is on his side on issues and principles both. In my opinion, I think going forward, both of them will make a very formidable team. A young and not so young 77-year-old president, if Mr. Trump were to win, and his vice president, maybe Vivek Ramaswamy, who is 38 years of age, a 40-year clear gap. This also ensures one big thing for the Republican Party and the supporters of both the gentlemen, that a continuity of policy will happen even if, for any reason, Trump were not to become president or he had to relinquish for one reason or the other. In policy perspectives, in mindset, this alliance would be remarkably powerful because Trump has his own loyal followers. And those loyal followers will go, that entire vote bank of 70 million people who voted for him in 2020 will stick to him. Then comes Vivek Ramaswamy. What does he bring on the table? He brings continuity in policy, continuity in programs, because they think alike. Number two, he represents the youth, and he is challenging the youth to fix America. And that's a very important part because he speaks their language, he speaks their hope, their aspiration, and a fulfillment of a fact that this man, as an immigrant, as an Indian immigrant, has made his bones in America. All right. So he gives hope to the millions and millions of youth who are right now kind of lost in the horizon of all the disputes and uncertainties and the drumming of the beat that in the entire scenario. That's very, very important to bear in mind. Once that happens, Vivek will also bring about the possibility that if anything were to happen to Trump, he is ready to step in. That's another very important part. Instead of what you are seeing in the current administration, where generally the vice presidential candidate fulfills a specific goal and is more ornamental than real. It happened in George Bush. It happens in every presidential scenario, that the vice presidential candidate is not effective in terms of taking over the role. God given reasons, somebody can step in and it has happened. But that doesn't mean that the policy continues. That's a very important part. Vivek will have to also make sure that he will now go through a scrutiny that is only a remarkable feature of American politics. In my, as I often say, that in private life, whoever you are, whatever you do is one part of the story. The important part is that when you become a political role, when you come into a political role, then people expect you. The standards are very unfair, in my opinion. They expect you to be holier than Pope, if that is true. You have to be like Jesus Christ, taking all the brickbats and all the accusations that you is hurled on you, and you have to be almost a virgin like Virgin Mary. It's a very important point to think about it, because you are judged on a very different level. You have to be virtually pure and pristine to be in a political field. And that's what creates the unrealistic assumptions and unrealistic expectations from the political leadership, all of whom have been people who are prone to make mistakes. So Vivek will go through scrutiny of something that he may or may not have prepared for. For example, there are already attacks that his entire income generation, his entire policies of making money were based on false premises, and people are now beginning to talk about it. Important issue here is that those very people who are talking about it, they are saying, holier than thou, oh, I have made my own mistakes, but I did not make the mistake that Vivek is committing. Think about it. This is basically a psychological operation against Vivek Ramasawamy, who is not one of those typical Americans, if I may say so. So the point is very, very critical here. Mr. Trump and Vivek Ramasawamy will make a very formidable team, young and not so young. I don't want to use the word old, but both of them combined, they become an authentic double barrel gun to solve the country's problems as they exist, because both of them come from the business background. Both of them love to attend to issues and challenges and provide solutions for that. You and I all know that regardless of what the Democratic Party might say, Trump did enormous good to the country in economic policies, apart from the fact that if only he had controlled his choice of words in engaging in fight, he would have been much more acceptable by the voting category of people than being as brash that he was. Look at Vivek. He is combining a very remarkable way of presenting the problem and the solutions there too. And that's what you would notice, that even Mr. Trump now has begun to say that under a particular category, I will dismantle this or I will fix this problem. Now, I don't want to go into specifics of each one of the things, but this is an ongoing battle that has just begun. America needs a new thread. America needs a new direction of realism and truth. That's very important. And I think these two people will make a remarkably formidable team, because they are challenging the existing norms. They are challenging the existing norms in the way in which the governance is being made. Democratic Party will indulge in freebies. That somewhere along the line has become, a tactical maneuvering in both India and here, both the countries facing election next year, in which certain groups of people, the Congress Party and AAP and others, are offering freebies. You read about it, right? That in Rajasthan, the Congress Party announced their 4,500 Berozgar, the unemployment gift or grant to the unemployed. Remember, the unemployment gift to people does not take them out of unemployment. They remain in that scenario for the simple reason that they remain in that scenario only because it's a free gift. People have to realize this, that when a political party offers you something for free, you are paying for it. It's not necessarily free. This free grant thing that people have to realize, and genuine political parties have to come to terms with, who is going to pay for it? Where is the money going to come from? That remains fundamental to both these countries, India and the United States, into how you handle your political maneuverings. Because now people are no longer fools. They know that if something is going to cost, it is going to cost me too. So I'm looking at it from this perspective that if Trump and Vivek were to come together, that will make a truly remarkable powerhouse for the solving the problems of the country, because truth is the one that enables you tackle the problem. And that's where it is important for every voter going forward. There will be innumerable attacks on Vivek, innumerable. There will be many psychological ops done on him, that he is not what he is. He is just fooling the people. There will be many issues raised about him, against him, from religion to the way he did his business and the way he made his money. But I want to say to you, nobody is perfect in the world. And important part is that you have to prove, if you are accusing somebody of something, whether it's Vivek, whether it's Trump, whether it's Biden, whether it is his son Hunter, it has to be proven. But now we know a lot more than we ever knew before. Ladies and gentlemen, when you go to the polling booths, remember that who is going to solve your problem, who has the agenda to solve your problem, who has a plan to attend to the specific issues that are confronting you. And with that in mind, I think a Trump Vivek teaming up would be enormous for America. Please like, subscribe, and support, and press the bell icon and be on alert, because now you are in a situation where the truth must be found, truth must be addressed, and we must address all our problems truthfully, because that's the only way to solve the problem. Satyamev Jayate, truth must prevail. Thank you.